Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're embarking on an aquatic adventure that might just change the way you see our familiar coastlines.
Mm,
If you've ever swum or snorkeled or maybe even just paddled in the waters off the UK's south coast, well, get ready to have your mind open
yeah,
to the vibrant secret world bustling just a few feet beneath the surface. You might be, well, genuinely astounded by the sheer amount of life thriving practically at your toes.
indeed. And this deep dive is really all about pulling back the curtain on that hidden world, isn't it?
Exactly.
We're hoping to transform your next, casual dip in the sea into something more like an exciting wildlife expedition.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, revealing the incredible marine biodiversity you can actually easily encounter. Our mission, sort of, is to equip you with the knowledge to identify the most common fish species you might spot,
Right.
depending on the habitat, of course, from the leaguer, craggy rock pools to the tranquil sandy bays, and even those swaying seagrass meadows.
We've been diving into this truly fantastic guide, Common Fish to Spot When Swimming on the South Coast of the UK.
Hmm. Very good.
And it's absolutely packed with surprising details, fascinating insights. So let's explore this material and get you ready to become a South Coast fish spotter.
Seeing the sea with entirely new eyes.
That's the idea. Okay, let's begin our exploration by starting small, and I mean literally small.
Right.
The humble rock pools and those very near-shore shallows, often overlooked maybe, yet they are teeming with an incredible diversity of life.
They really are.
So when you peer into those miniature ecosystems, what's often lurking among the rocks and, the tangled seaweed?
Well, what's truly fascinating here is how these tiny, often temporary environments,
Yeah.
part of the intertidal zone,
The tide covers and uncovers.
exactly, that dynamic area, they're incredibly rich ecosystems, miniature worlds of survival, really.
Wow.
You'll frequently encounter blennies, for example,
Yeah.
specifically the shanny.
The shanty.
Yeah, these are small, curious fish, wondrously characterful. They often sort of perch on rocks, using their pectoral fins like little hands.
No way. Like hands.
Kind of. Seemingly observing the world around them. They're territorial, too. Darting to defend their patch from rivals or quickly retreating into a crevice if they feel threatened.
Huh.
And get this. Did you know a shanny can actually breathe air for short periods?
What? A fish breathing air?
Yeah, it's this adaptation that allows them to survive if their rock pool gets cut off from the main tide for a while.
That's genuinely surprising. It really paints a picture of their resilience, doesn't it? So they're not just cute, they're tough little survivors.
Exactly.
What other tiny, often overlooked residents are absolute mainstays of these rock pool communities? I imagine there are some other incredible adaptations to discover.
Oh, absolutely. Beyond the blennies, you'll definitely find gobies.
Gobies.
These are tiny bottom dwellers, and they are incredibly common, both in the rock pools and in the sandy patches you find within these shallow areas.
Right.
And they are masters of blending in. Their mottled coloration, their flattened profiles, it allows them to perfectly match the sand, the gravel, the small stones on the seabed.
So really hard to spot then.
You might easily miss them at first glance, yeah.
Eh.
But once you start actively looking, observing those subtle movements,
Oh.
you'll start seeing them everywhere, darting along the bottom, often in pairs, or quickly burying themselves with just a flick of their tail.
Okay, we've talked about these subtle masters of disguise, but for those hoping for a real visual treat,
Ah, yes.
are there any species in these shallow, rocky areas that truly stand out with vibrant colors? Something that would catch your eye even if you weren't actively searching?
But without a doubt, for a real splash of color, you'll want to look out for the wrasse,
Wrasse.
especially species like the corkwing wrasse and the ballan wrasse.
Okay.
These are truly brightly patterned fish. You'll typically find them near rocks and dense kelp beds, and their colors are stunning.
Really? Like what?
You'll see this vibrant mix of greens, blues, oranges, browns, often with really intricate patterns.
Wow.
And what's particularly interesting is how their color can vary with age and gender. So each sighting feels kind of unique.
Mm-hmm.
And from a broader ecological perspective, seeing thriving populations of these colorful wrasse, well, it's a fantastic indicator of a healthy, complex intertidal zone.
How so?
Well, they graze on small invertebrates, they keep algal growth in check, and their varied diet supports the wider food web. It's a sign the whole ecosystem is doing well.
That's a powerful visual, seeing those colors and knowing they represent a thriving environment. Okay, now let's shift our focus a bit.
Mm-hmm.
When we move from those jagged, complex rock structures to the smoother, perhaps often overlooked world of sand and seagrass.
Yeah, different world.
What kind of incredible adaptations do marine creatures develop to survive there? It must be a completely different game for survival, wouldn't you say?
It absolutely is. And this raises that important question, doesn't it? How different environmental pressures shape marine life. In sandy and seagrass areas, the main strategy for survival shifts dramatically. Here, camouflage isn't just about blending with rocks. It's about becoming virtually invisible against a uniform shifting background.
Okay.
So you'll find various flatfish, things like dab, plaice, and flounder.
Ah, the flat ones.
Exactly. They are true masters of disguise, often lying perfectly flat, half buried in the sand.
Right.
And what's truly astonishing is their ability to rapidly change their skin's coloration and even texture.
Change texture.
Yeah, to perfectly mimic the surrounding sand or gravel or even bits of shell. It's an almost instantaneous adaptation.
Wow.
It allows them to just vanish in plain sight until they dart away with surprising speed. And of course, they have both eyes on one side of their head.
Which is just bizarre when you think about it.
An incredible evolutionary quirk,
Yeah.
perfectly suited to their bottom-dwelling lifestyle.
So they're not just waiting for you to swim by, but also perfectly poised to ambush any unsuspecting prey. Fascinating.
Absolutely.
And speaking of speedy movement, what about something a bit more active that you might catch zipping around in these sandy areas?
For sure. If you're patient and keep your eyes peeled for, quick flashes, you might spot sand eels. These are slender, silvery fish that dart incredibly quickly through the water column, often in small shoals.
Sand eels.
But just like the flatfish, they can also bury themselves in the sand with surprising speed, vanishing in an instant.
How do they do that?
Often tail first just wriggle down. They're not true eels, by the way, but rather small, elongated fish. And they play an absolutely vital role in the marine food chain here.
Really? How so?
They're a key prey species. For a huge variety of larger fish, seabirds, even marine mammals, they're basically a cornerstone of the coastal ecosystem. Without them, many other species would struggle to find enough food.
It's incredible how many different survival strategies are at play. And then we have a truly unique one.
Yeah.
One that often sparks a moment of recognition for many people. You might also encounter pipefish. Tell us more about these creatures and what makes them so special.
The pipefish. They're a wonderful example of really specialized adaptation. They are thin, elongated relatives of seahorses.
Seahorses, really?
Yes, cousins to those iconic, sort of upright swimmers. You usually find pipefish tucked away within dense seagrass beds.
Okay.
Their body shape, and often their coloration too, allows them to mimic seagrass blades almost perfectly. It makes them incredibly hard to spot.
So they just look like part of the plant.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They'll hold themselves upright amongst the blades, swaying gently with the currents, looking for all the world like just another bit of seagrass.
Amazing camouflage.
Crucial for avoiding predators. And what's truly fascinating here is the specialized habitat of seagrass itself.
Right, the seagrass beds.
These underwater meadows, they act as vital nurseries for countless juvenile fish, providing shelter from predators, a rich feeding ground. They're also vital for stabilizing the seabed and storing carbon. Real ecological powerhouses.
From the intricate camouflage of flatfish to the masterful mimicry of pipefish and seagrass, it's clear these nearshore habitats are just packed with life.
Absolutely packed.
So, as we transition slightly, what does this all mean for those slightly more open but still shallow waters? When you're swimming a bit further out from the immediate shore, maybe in a bay or near a harbor mouth, what new sightings might you make? Are we talking bigger fish, different behaviors now?
In these more open, shallow areas, we indeed start to see fish that are often larger, or perhaps exhibit schooling behaviors, which can be quite a spectacle.
Truly, right.
You'll frequently encounter the mullet, specifically the thick-lipped gray mullet.
Yes, I think I've seen those.
Probably. They're silvery, torpedo-shaped fish. You'll often spot them moving in impressive synchronized schools, particularly near harbors, estuaries, sheltered bays.
Yeah.
They can be quite impressive to watch as they just glide by with this real sense of purpose.
What are they doing?
They're primarily herbivores, actually, often sifting through the seabed or grazing on algae. So they help keep the environment clean, in a way.
Interesting.
Their presence in numbers can indicate rich algal growth.
I've definitely seen those sleek, silvery shapes before, gliding by in perfect formation. They look so powerful.
They do.
And sometimes, in these slightly deeper shallows, you get a glimpse of a true predator in action, too.
Precisely. The bass, or European sea bass, is sometimes seen hunting smaller fish in these very shallow bays.
Bass.
They're powerful, fast swimmers. Recognized by their silvery scales and those two distinct dorsal fins.
Right.
Witnessing a bass actively hunting, darting through a shoal of smaller fish, it's a thrilling sight. A real burst of energy and speed.
I can imagine.
Their presence is also a strong indicator of a healthy, diverse ecosystem with a robust food web.
Because they're at the top.
Well, higher up the predatory chain, yes.
Oh.
Relying on the abundance of those smaller species we've been talking about.
Makes sense. And what about those slightly deeper but still near shore areas where you might find entire underwater forests swaying with the current? I'm thinking about the kelp.
Oh, kelp forests, yes.
What can we expect to see among those giant marine plants?
Kelp forests are another incredibly rich and vital habitat.
Uh-huh.
They provide shelter, nurseries, food for countless creatures.
Right.
Here you'll often see pollock, especially juvenile pollock, which tend to congregate close to shore within these dense underwater forests.
Pollock, okay.
They use the kelp as protection from larger predators, and also as a hunting ground for smaller fish and invertebrates. Their mottled green and brown coloration lets them blend in perfectly among the frogs.
More camouflage.
Always important. And what's particularly compelling here, I think, is how all these different species, from the little blennies to the bass and the pollock, they all utilize specific niches within these shallow coastal waters. Each fish occupies a distinct role. And these varied habitats, the rock pools, the sand, the seagrass, the kelp, they're the foundation for this diverse tapestry of marine life along our south coast.
It really is like a finely tuned orchestra, isn't it? With each habitat playing its part.
That's a nice way to put it.
And then for those of you who love a summer swim, we have some exciting special guests who join the party seasonally.
Ah, yes, the summer visitors.
It's like the ocean gets an influx of holidaymakers, too.
Yeah, summer truly brings some thrilling additions to the nearshore waters. Makes your snorkeling adventures even more dynamic.
Like what?
For instance, mackerel shoals sometimes come incredibly close to shore during the warmer months.
Mackerel, wow.
Yes, those fast-moving streamlined fish with the distinctive dark wavy stripes on their backs.
Uh-huh.
They often arrive in vast numbers, chasing bait fish, like the sand eels we mentioned earlier.
Right, connects back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine being in the water and a shimmering, swirling shoal of thousands of mackerel just passes by.
That would be incredible.
It's a truly spectacular display, a pulse of silver moving as one. They're amazing to watch.
That sounds absolutely amazing. Imagine being surrounded by that shimmering, living wall of mackerel. It really highlights the dynamic nature of our seas.
It does.
But there's also a very important piece of information here, isn't there? Something for everyone to be acutely aware of for their safety when enjoying those sandy beaches and shallow waters.
Yes, this raises an extremely important question about awareness and safety in the marine environment, particularly for those of us who love to paddle or swim.
Okay.
Among the sandy bottom fish we've discussed, you might potentially encounter the lesser weever fish.
Lesser weaver fish. Right. Heard of those.
It's a small fish, typically only around 10-15 centimeters long, often buried in the sand, just like the flatfish.
Okay, so hidden?
Yes. However, crucially, it possesses venomous spines on its dorsal fin and its gill covers. These spines are purely for defense.
Venomous spines. Okay, that sounds like something we absolutely need to be careful about, especially if they're buried in the sand where you might not see them.
Exactly.
What happens if you step on one? And crucially, what's the best way to avoid it?
Right. The key takeaway here is extreme caution when stepping in sandy areas, especially in shallow waters during summer months when these fish are more active and people are often barefooted.
Right. Summer, shallow water, bare feet.
If you step on a lesser weaver fish, the spines can pierce your skin, injecting venom. The sting is known to be intensely painful.
Painful.
Very. Often described as a burning or throbbing sensation that can last for several hours. Now, while encounters are relatively rare,
Okay, good.
being aware of its potential presence is crucial for an enjoyable and safe experience.
So what's the preventative measure?
A simple, effective one is to shuffle your feet when walking through very shallow, sandy areas.
Shuffle your feet?
Yeah, just slide your feet along the sand rather than taking big steps. This action disturbs the sand ahead of you, giving any buried weaver fish a chance to swim away before you step directly on it.
Ah, makes sense. Warns them off.
Exactly. It's a stark reminder, isn't it, that even in seemingly benign waters, nature holds surprises and sometimes a need for respect and just a simple preventative action.
Wow. Okay, so from the curious blennies peeking out of rock pools to the camouflaged flatfish vanishing into the sand,
Hmm.
the majestic schooling mackerel, and even that vital need for caution with the lesser weaver fish,
Yeah,
it's abundantly clear that the south coast of the UK is a buzzing, vibrant, and incredibly diverse underwater world.
it truly is.
Next time you're by the sea, whether you're swimming, snorkeling, or just dipping your toes in, you'll have a whole new appreciation for the secret lives swimming right beneath you.
And if we sort of zoom out and connect this to the bigger ecological picture,
Yeah.
this deep dive highlights not only that incredible diversity, but also the intricate, delicate balance of our local marine ecosystem.
Right. Everything connected.
Exactly. Each species, no matter how small or hidden, plays a vital role. And by simply observing, identifying, understanding these common species, you're not just satisfying your curiosity.
Yeah.
You're actively raising your own awareness of marine biodiversity close to shore. And this enriches the joy of being by the sea immensely. It inspires a deeper connection, I think, to the natural world around us.
That's a great point.
Understanding what's there is really the very first step towards appreciating it, protecting it, and ultimately conserving these precious coastal environments for, future generations.
So what stands out to you from today's deep dive? Perhaps it's the idea of spotting a seahorse relative, like the pipefish, tucked away in the seagrass.
Maybe.
Or the fascinating thought of a blenny breathing air. Or maybe it's that crucial reminder to shuffle your feet in the sand to avoid a nasty surprise from a lesser weaver fish.
Definitely worth remembering.
We hope this has given you a fresh perspective and truly inspired you to look a little closer to truly see the next time you're enjoying the beautiful South Coast waters. Thank you for diving deep with us.